video solution of exam58 for course 27000. So we start immediately. I open any window, doesn't matter which one, // ubz01 fst. If you are outside the university network, you have to add .unibz.it. I don't go to exams. I'm really tired of students who have never studied and go to exam and complain that I cannot enter. Usually not even me, I cannot enter. I go to courses and I go to exam colletti. Here you find a long list of names. In this case, there's only me. You open and you get the files. Yes. I don't close this window. I iconize it so I save time for later. Open file banks.xlsx with Microsoft Excel 2016 and okay, let's see. List. Copy the content of row 1 into sheet copy here in column A, column not row. So row 1, copy here. Well, if you paste, it doesn't work, you have to transpose. Done. Save after this difficult operation. In column N, insert this thing here, index minus risk-free divided by return. So go back to sheet list. In column N, equal index minus risk-free divided by return. And obviously you don't do it like this, but you add parentheses. Click. Copy the values of column N in dates. So right click, copy. This one. At the bottom of sheet list, in cells C968, okay, yes, this one. Insert the sum and the mean of the previous values in column CG. So equal sum of C2, C966. Okay, I could have dragged it with a mouse, but this is one of the cases in which it's faster like this. Equal average C2 colon C966. I select and drag here. I'll take a little too big, but it's not a problem. Okay, I save. Done. From sheet list, produce a PDF file banks.pdf, blah 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 blah. First of all, we must set the blah 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 blah, page layout, page setup. Okay, first of all, using grid lines. So grid lines. Second, the footer, automatic printing date on the left, and here page tac off tac. You don't need the page and off, but you need the other two that are explicitly requested. So the automatic printing date on the left and page number with total pages on the right. Okay. Now I save, and I save as PDF. File, save as on my desktop. I save as PDF, it's here, banks.pdf. Okay, this is the file. Well, the only requirements are grid lines and this thing here, they are there, so fine. I close it. Okay. Now, in sheet scenario, fill cell B6 with an appropriate formula. Well, I don't write nothing else, but I expect somebody who studied economics understand that it's units by variable cost per units plus fixed cost. Okay? Then in a new sheet, insert a scenario summary using appropriate labels with at least 3 possible variations of B1, B3 variables. Okay, so insert, where is it? No, oops, home, data. You can see what happens when you don't study. What if analysis, scenario manager, add, scenario name, start, changing cells, these ones. Okay, so we add a new one, scenario manager, more units, so 20, add, scenario less costs, so 4, less units and more var costs. Less units 6, more var cost 4. Okay. Don't need to show, so summary immediately. The result cell is in B5, okay. Okay, the only thing are the appropriate labels. These are not appropriate. So you have two alternatives here. Either you redo everything, or you should have thought it before, and you assign to this cell the appropriate name, units, fixed cost, variable cost per unit, etc., etc. But recently I changed my mind, and I find much easier to copy from here and paste here. Or you can paste them, or you can paste values. If you paste values, they remain gray. If you paste, they become white. It doesn't matter. So Ctrl C, and here, if you paste, it becomes white. If you paste values, they remain gray. But that's perfectly. Both are okay. Also, if you assign labels here, so you call this units here, etc., etc. Both are okay. Save. In Sheet Solver, find the optimal non-negative amounts of each panel's type in cell B3, E3, highlighted in yellow, okay, to maximize the total profit. Each unit of panel uses some resources which have a maximum written in green in column F. So let's see the situation. I have here the number of pellets. Each one has a profit. So I have my objective function. You can write it here or here, doesn't matter. Equal this one by this one plus this one by this one plus this one by this one plus this one by this one. Okay, I admit that writing things like this is very boring. In fact, whenever you have to make something multiplied by another plus something multiplied by another plus something multiplied by another, there is a very convenient function in Excel. We don't do it, so you're not required to know it, but a very convenient function is sum product. So whenever you do the sum of products, so you just choose the first array, the second array, and you get exactly the same thing. But let's leave it with the standard thing for today. So this is my objective function. Which constraints do I have? But, well, this, and this be non-negative. Okay. Then I have the used resources. You can see each unit of panel uses some resources which have a maximum written in green in column F. Sorry, in column G. Okay, so I must find how many we use. Glue this one by this one. Also here, using some product will be easier. Plus, and will avoid potential mistakes. Okay. Now I plan to drag this down for the pressing our pine chips and oak chips, but B3, C3, D3 and D3 should remain fixed, so I dollarize them, and so I can drag down everything. Okay, you can put the dollar also in front only of the 3, it doesn't matter, it's the same. Okay, now I drag down. Okay, now half of the work, three quarters of the work is done, and I can, where is it? Data, solver, set up the solver. Objective function, it's here. changing the variables. This one's constraints. This one smaller or equal than this one. Add. This one smaller or equal than this one. Add. This one smaller or equal than this one. Add. And this one smaller or equal than this one. Okay, so my constraints. There are other 4 constraints that these 4 variables being non-negative. You can put them explicitly if you want, or you can flag here, make unconstrained variable non-negative. Perfectly equivalent. Equivalent as far as you don't put any other specific constraint on these variables. Okay. So if you don't put and just flag, it's fine. Solve, track, optimal solution. I save after all this effort. The task is done. I close Excel, open access, enable content, create query 1 that lists all the customers with phone number starting with 0. So this is very easy. Customers. So first name, last name, phone name, like 0 asterisk. Oops, I like caps lock. Okay. Even though you probably don't see well, this is a quotation 0 asterisk quotation. Okay, let's see the result. Fine. Save. Query 1. Okay, done. The second query. Create. Query design. Create query 2 that lists for each car all the repairs work hours, sorted first by production year, then by car producer, and then by car model. The fields exactly in this order and only these ones. Ooh, it's a tricky issue. So let's start putting the fields. I need cars, repairs, and in charge. You need also repairs, because otherwise cars and in charge are not connected. Let's say 90% of times it will work, but if Access doesn't understand what you're trying to do, you will get erratic results. So car plate, you can also look at the picture. Car model, car producer, and work hours. Fine, it's done, but the difficult thing here is the sorting, because it must be sorted first by production year, which is not present, so I must add production year. And I don't add it here, because if I add it here, well, it will be the last thing which will be sorted. I will add it at the beginning. I not show, sort, ascending. Okay. Then by car producer, so ascending, and then by car model. However, if I choose like this, it will be sorted by production year, car model, and car producer, and you can see that the result is different. Look, it doesn't start with Audi, it starts with Fiat 500. Okay. So, how can you sort by car producer and then by car model? Well, unfortunately, you need to insert a new car producer here, which exists only for the sorting. Oops. Ascending, okay. And at this point, this sorting is not necessary. So this exists only for the sorting, and now it's exactly like the picture. I save it, query 2, fine, everything's fine, and I copy the files back. First of all, I gather the files. I had my windows open. I select them. I drag them here. Now Windows will ask me, or for banks no, but for the other 2 files, whether I want to overwrite or not. I don't raise my hand and ask the professor what to do. Okay, I answer yes if I'm copying from my desktop to the network folder. Okay. Otherwise, I say stop everything if the vice versa. Can you see? I'm copying from my desktop to the network folder. In this case, I click on replace. Otherwise, click immediately on skip because you are doing the vice versa. I am really tired of students who do the vice versa and then blame the computer for having eaten their files. Okay, the exam is over.